when we talk of that, before we start getting into the products and the details around it, we'll talk a little bit around seedbed preparation. What are the key things that our farmers are looking for to create that ideal seedbed? And really, when you start thinking about that, it starts beyond just the tillage. It starts at the combine, which you learned earlier today. It starts talking about how does the combine process that crop, how does it thrash that grain, how does it distribute that residue out behind that combine. Then it's up to the tillage tools and our wide portfolio of tillage tools, both primary and secondary tillage tools, to be able to size, vary that residue, incorporate it, or further distribute that residue so that we can create that ideal seed bed for the planter to come through and accurately place that seed. We start talking about the ideal seed bed. It's being able to create that ideal seed bed that's both level and smooth below the surface as well as on top of the surface. So we look at the solution behind us here. We start off with the 9RX, the 4-track design that we have here. The large undercarriage we have and the large footprint of our tracks on the ground that helps be able to create better flotation and reduce compaction in the field, which is key when you look at creating that ideal seed bed. One of the other things is we look up at the cab, one of the comforts, how long do farmers stay in the cab? They spend a lot of hours in the cab, right? They need to be comfortable in the cab so they can get that job done, do a quality job. The 9RX features cab suspension, which helps create comfort in that cab, allows them to stay in that cab longer, get more done. One of the other things we talk about, integration of the cab. Earlier you were over there and looked at the command center, Gen 4 command center, and that integration of that command center throughout all the cabs in our lineup. One of the other key things when you look at our tillage solution here that's key from that integration in the cab is AutoTrack, automatic guidance. It allows that operator to be more efficient, get more done, be less fatigued at the end of the day. Extremely important when you look at it from a tillage operation. One of the biggest things you're doing when you're doing tillage is looking back to try and manage your overlap. And with an automatic guidance system, you can reduce that overlap and be able to be more efficient, more productive. Looking at technology, it's not just in the tractor, but also as we get back here and start looking at where the work really gets done when you're talking about seedbed preparation, we look at TrueSet tillage technology. We're incorporating more and more technology into our tillage tools as well. What TrueSet allows you to do with the integration in the cab and with that display allows you to adjust this tool on the go from the cab. That's going to save the farmer a lot of time from getting out and have to come back here manually, turn cranks, and make adjustments. That means they're going to be able to cover more acres per day. In a wet spring like we've had this spring, being able to stay in the cab and cover more acres per day is essential. One of the other things we'll do when we look at it from the standpoint of creating that nice level seed bed below the surface, we looked at our redesign. Our field cultivator and mulch finisher line has been redesigned. We start off with a frame redesign. It allows us to have 6-inch split the middle shank spacing. Well, what does that do from a farmer's perspective? It allows us to get a consistent, even cut all the way across the tool. Again, when you look at it from this wet spring, we had a warm spell during the winter as well. We had a lot of weeds germinate. There were a lot of fields that were very weedy this spring as we started out. So they had to come in here with this full width cut with this true 6-inch split the middle. You're getting all those weeds, cutting them out, being able to kill those and getting them killed before the planter use. But also when you look at into these our shanks here, our true position standards, 200 pounds of trip force here. Another very key feature that we've got here with 200 pounds of trip force to keep those shanks engaged in the ground, keep those sweeps engaged in the ground so that you're getting that level cut all the way across the field for that consistency. What happens if those start tripping? You're going to start getting some undulations, right? Uneven. That can equate to the planter ride quality. Getting a bumpy planter ride, your accuracy for depth isn't going to be as ideal as it needs to be. So as we continue to look at here, look at our radial tires, just like we talked about on the 9RX, from a radial tire standpoint, wider footprint, better flotation, less compaction as you get through the field. Again, with the wet springs we've had, radial tires, better flotation, means you might be able to get into that field a half a day or day earlier than what you normally would with biased tires. Let's walk around the side of the tool here as we talk about it. A couple of more things, but it doesn't mean a whole lot if you can cover more acres faster. What you really got to do is be able to maintain the performance, the quality output, right? And that's what leads us back here to our rear attachments, our Pro-Finish leveling system. Our Pro-Finish leveling system allows our farmers to be able to go through and customize the field finish they want. You still got to maintain that smooth level surface on the top, to be able to have that consistent seed zone, so when you accurately place it, you're able to get that uniform germination, which ultimately is going to lead to increased yield opportunities. With it, we've got 6 different options here that can be customized for what customers need based upon their residue and their field conditions, soil types. One of the last key features here though, hydraulically adjustable rolling baskets. Customers asked for this. You say, well, what's the big deal about hydraulically adjustable rolling baskets? Well, all that from the cab, you get into a field where it's wet like it is today, or you hit a wet spot in the field, you can easily pull those baskets up so that you're not balling them up, filling them with mud, because you'll spend the rest of the day unplugging. Right, very key when wet springs like it is here. But the other big key is 0 to 900 pounds of PSI of down pressure you can put on these. You can firm up that seed bed so you can get a good firm seed bed for good seed to soil contact, as well as being able to adjust those on the go as field conditions change. So with that, those are just a few of the key features here around the integration of technology in our tractors, as well as our tillage tools to be able to create that ideal seed bed for our customers. Because ultimately it's providing that ideal seed bed, consistency, levelness, smoothness, to be able to accurately plant and place that seed right where it needs to be for uniform emergence to help give them that opportunity for optimum yield.